Well, good evening, everybody.
Hi,
Hello.
I'm Christa
I'm Brad.
with
Yeah.
the Big Family Homestead. We did it wrong. We did it backwards.
That's why it was so awkward. It was awkward right then.
Yeah.
Let's try it again. Oh, I was
No,
going to shut it off.
don't do that.
Hey, everybody, it's Brad.
And I'm Christa.
The Big Family Homestead. And things are going great around here.
As they explode.
And the explosions. Anyway, we've got some great news stories for you guys. Tales of truthfulness and awesomeness, achievement, and people being cool. We've got 8 great stories coming up here.
Yep.
But before we do, we need to stall a little bit so more friends can get here. Because we want everybody to hear them.
Yep.
And, you know, it's just not like Memorex. You can't go back and watch these things, so...
You can't.
Okay, so what's going on today?
Well, today's Sunday.
It is.
Well, today is actually
So, but
September 11th,
this
guys.
week, yeah.
Yeah.
We're very mindful of that.
Yes.
Prayers for
Those
everybody
families.
affected. And,
Yes.
I mean, the it's just not... I don't really want to talk too much about it just because I'll... What happened in the wake of all of that was just as horrible as the event itself.
Yeah.
And so, anyway, prayers for anyone affected.
Yes.
And for those who are mourning the loss of Queen Elizabeth, we are praying with you too.
Yep.
So, actually, I learned something cool about Queen Elizabeth that I did not know
What's that?
earlier today.
What?
On 9/11, she okay, when there's the changing of the guard in the, whatever, it's not a castle, in Buckingham Palace, when there's a changing of a guard, it's a big deal. They play their national anthem. There's a lot of pomp and circumstance. And basically, they play their, I'm sorry, I got distracted by a comment. But
I know what you're talking about. She had already... had ordered that on 9/11 today in London that they would be playing the Star Spangled Banner.
Yeah. As a way of kind of just saying, hey, we're with you.
Right. Yeah, I
So,
saw that.
I thought that
I
was
saw that
pretty
as well.
cool.
It was really neat. Yeah.
So, but anyway, stuff that's going on here this week. You got a big old early Christmas present.
I did. I've been saving and have had the desire to have a horse of my own.
So she can ride with Hope.
So I can ride with Hope, because Hope's not going to go off riding by herself on these trails.
No way.
Not a good idea, not safe. So, you know, of course, we had to get another horse.
Of course.
Of course, we had to, you know.
Well,
so that-
and a horse is a horse.
Of course, right. As long as its name is Mr. Ed.
Yeah.
And our horse, the new horse's name is not Mr. Ed. It is
Selah.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
No. Oh, jeez. Funny.
No, she did not. So the horse is doing very well.
Yes,
As a matter of
she's doing
fact, you want to show
fantastic.
him?
Yes.
Because when we got the horse, we knew that it needed to gain some weight, and it was very thin. It wasn't like sick thin, but it was thin.
She was pretty thin, yeah.
Pretty thin.
So here is a picture of on Monday. We got her on Monday in the afternoon.
So you see the ribs there?
You see her ribs there. And I took a very similar shot. Let me scroll
That's very kind
to
of you,
it.
Laura. Thank you.
That's a cow. And here she is.
Look at the difference.
Yesterday.
Not too shabby.
Yeah.
She's putting on weight.
Yep.
And Mama took care of the little cut she got on her butt.
Yep,
and,
she did get a little
clean
cut.
her up.
Yep.
And we have video, but we're not going to show it today,
No.
of Christa riding the horse.
For a short time.
Yeah. So, what was crazy is that Grace got to ride the horse,
Ruth,
and Caleb, which I was surprised.
well, and our special visitor, Claire.
Yeah, Claire.
She came to visit this weekend, which was really nice.
Yeah, that was really a blessing, huge blessing. So, Selah is doing very well.
She's doing very well. She is acclimating well to our barnyard. The cows they're doing just fine. I think they're a little timid around horses because the horses are so much bigger than they are. So they kind of just move out of their way. They're not afraid. Yeah, they just kind of move out of their way and, give them lots of space. But, yeah, they're doing well. Whiskey's still a teenage boy.
This was funny though, because Whiskey has the problem of kind of picking on the other horses. Not really picking. He's playing.
No, he's picking. He's playing with puzzle.
But he'll every once in a while he does what stupid teenagers do, and
sure.
he gets a little out of hand. Well, he'll bite the other ones once in a while.
Yep.
Until they run off. But he went up to go play with Selah, who was much bigger than him.
Much.
And Selah just went whack.
She gave him one solid kick
right here
to the chest.
And it wasn't even 2 seconds, and he just was like, okay. He backed off because Selah didn't even pick her head up. She was just eating grass. And Whiskey just backed up, said, oh. And then he went to eating grass. And that's the only time. The only time.
Yep. She gave him what for?
And that was it.
And that was it. Yeah, once. And that's all it should take. For a mom to tell a child once. Not that she's his
not
mom,
but
she's a mom figure to him now because...
It was a solid thump.
It was a solid thump. We heard it from a couple 100 feet away.
Yeah.
Ouch.
So what's next for Selah?
Well, we're just basically trying to fatten her up, just to get some weight back on her, try and figure out everything that she knows.
I said no.
I said no, yeah. Trying to figure out everything she knows. And so, yeah, it's a learning experience for me, too.
She had a sore on her spine that was really bugging her.
Yeah, up on her withers. There was it was not raw, but it was
rough.
It was rough. And so I think it was just from the saddle and the saddle pad.
Just wearing at her.
Yeah. So
but we've been using the healing hands that we make, and it's getting better fast.
Yes, it is.
Because it's got moringa oil in it.
Yes, it does. And so it's been working out really well.
Okay, so other stuff. Let's see. We got wood from our buddy Ryan. He's got a mill, and we're gonna make Puzzle and Whiskey and Selah just to get out of the rain, kind of little shelter.
Yeah, we have a space of grass on the other side of the driveway. Brad calls it the grassy knoll.
Yes,
and
you better be careful treading over there.
Yeah, right. So we're gonna fence
Especially
that
if you're
in.
a Kennedy.
We're going to fence that in and build just a run-in shed for in the summertime. So that way we can utilize the grass that's there and we don't have to mow it.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. So that was cool. Let's see what else. The kids did something really neat yesterday. There's a ministry locally that what they do is they build and give away for free beds to kids who don't have them. I mean, because there's a million reasons why a family can go through really hard times.
Oh, right.
And so they don't judge that situation. They just we want your child to have a bed.
Yep.
So they build beds.
Yep. So the kids, the 3 older kids, Caleb, Grace, and Hope, all went they went for a service project, and they were serving the community by helping build these beds. That was
I love that kind of stuff. But so
they had sawdust everywhere.
Caleb came home, he was whining about
it. It was everywhere.
Yeah.
On their bodies, I should say.
Yeah.
It was hysterical.
Every crevasse you can imagine.
Yeah. I think Grace had some in her ear, and
she did. So other stuff. We have been weaning Chuckles off of Mama.
Chuckles.
And he doesn't moo anymore. He's not like pining for Mom anymore. No. They can see each other a lot of the time.
Yeah.
But the problem is, I don't think he's going to stop.
No, he actually is tries every once in a while to suckle on Clover, who's in the same pasture with him. And she has nothing to do with it. It's like, no.
Yeah.
So I have a feeling that we're going to have to, when snow flies, we're going to have to put him with the sheep because he's more their size. And that way he won't, yeah.
Well,
there's that.
And then the question is he ever going to stop?
Yeah, I think he will.
Because Honey will let him.
I know.
We maybe just need to dry her up.
We tried that once, and Clover brought her back into milk.
That's true.
So, yeah.
Yeah, we don't know.
She's a fantastic nurse cow. Does anybody need one?
You need nurse cow? We'll swap you for a regular.
Nurse cow? Yeah.
We'll swap you for a...
Right.
It's got to be a Jersey.
It's got to be a Jersey. I can't handle big cows.
No, the Holsteins are pretty...
Oh, they're huge.
Yeah.
They're massive. I mean, their rear ends are as tall as I am.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
All right, quick question. Where are you guys all from? If you don't want to say anything specific, you can say, I am from Canada, or I am from Georgia, or wherever. I'm just curious so I can start putting places with names.
You come from France.
I come from France.
Yes.
La Petite. Where are you from? Yay. They made it on time.
That's awesome.
That's
That's
nice.
awesome.
So one more thing. For most of my life, I have been in music ministry. And whether it was Christian rock bands or owning recording studio or production or praise and worship leading. Cool. From Missouri, Lola Granola. I don't know why I thought you were from Georgia. I don't know.
No, that's playing with Jen.
Anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've been in music ministry my whole life and then took a break from that after we left from Ohio. And honestly just needed some time to get repaired.
Yep.
There was some bad juju that
hurt.
happened. And
Some healing needed to happen.
yeah, I don't want to get into it too terribly specific.
No need.
But I was asked to lead worship for the worship leader at our church here in the churches in Medford. And we went and I said, y'all give it a shot.
Give it
prayed
a
about
shot.
it.
He had
Prayed
a
about
great. He did wonderful.
It was good.
Yes.
It was really, really good. And it was worshipful. It was so, but I didn't know this, but Christa had filmed a little bit of it.
Just like 20 seconds. Just a little bit.
So
I wanted to send it to the kids is what it was. And then I told him that I had done that. And I said, let's put it on. Let's let everybody see. We may get copyright, but who cares?
So here it is. Here's like 10 seconds of big old Brad.
10,000 Reasons is the song.
Sing like never before. Oh, my soul, I'll worship your.
So yeah.
Yeah.
It was good. I'm humbled and I'm grateful that I was asked.
Yep.
So Chad, yeah, anytime, man.
Yep.
Cool. So yeah. Yeah.
He's speechless.
Yeah.
Need an explosion.
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 Wait, we're on the wrong page for explosions. There's explosion.
There you go.
Okay. But what we do need to do is we need to talk about this. Yeah.
Oh, man.
This is the portion of the evening where you share what you have learned this week. And I will share and Christa will share. Mike DeFazio, what did you learn this week? Because you're not getting off the hook. I saw Gunners here. You're not getting off the hook. Tim Skidmore, come on, bro. Tell us what you... Hey, there's Aaron. Barn
Hey,
Geek.
Baron.
Aaron.
I was
Aaron,
combining Aaron
shoot.
and Barn Geek.
Aaron the Barn Geek. I wish I could see it, but it's over in the corner. He made a cigar box guitar, and it's right there on the edge. You can actually see it barely. I'll bring it out next time. I'll bring it out next time.
Yeah.
But it was the coolest gift, and I'm still so grateful for it. Chemo and mayonnaise don't mix. Oh, helpful tip. We'll be praying for you, Rose.
Yeah, that's good.
So yeah, this is the portion where you share what you've learned this week, and we will. So, Mama, what have you learned this week?
I've learned that I'm not a huge fan of being up high.
Oh,
being up high, like on a horse. So I'm gonna have to work through that.
yeah,
So
yeah.
well, okay, and in my defense a little bit, I was on a bareback pad, so that is a little more unstable than a little less stable than a saddle.
Because there's nothing to hold on to.
Right, there's nothing to hold on to. So I was a little nervous because she's 15.2 hands, which if you guys know, a hand on a horse is 4 inches. So I think, what did I figure? Oh shoot, I calculated and I can't remember now.
Changing brakes, cool.
Yeah, it's like 64 inches or 60 inches or something like that.
To give you an idea,
Times 4.
the height of the horse's butt
62.
is right about here when I'm standing up.
Yeah.
Just the butt.
Yeah, so she's 62 hands or 62 inches at her withers, which is her shoulders. So right at the top of the spine. And it was just a little bit, I mean, that's 5 feet.
Because then your head is a solid 8 foot plus up.
Yeah. So
air.
it was a little higher than I anticipated.
Cool. Cheryl learned seed saving. That's awesome. Changing the brakes. That's cool there, Gunner. Nice. Going back to work, Mike DeFazio. Oh, man.
Delaney learned how to use an accountant's calculator.
That's pretty cool.
Awesome.
You know what I learned?
What did you learn today?
Dolphins sleep with one eye open.
What?
It's true.
No way.
Look it up.
Dolphins sleep?
Yeah. Remember, they breathe air.
No, I know that. But how long can they hold their breath?
I don't know. Maybe they float to the top. It's just one of those weird facts I read.
That is one of those weird facts.
Because there's a story, a good news story that's coming up that led me to a dolphin kind of channel that was like information on dolphins. And then I double checked it. Dolphins sleep with one eye open.
That's one of those useless knowledge things.
Maybe it's so that you can't never sneak up on them.
Sneak up on them.
I don't know.
Funny.
That's how you find an interesting rabbit.
Yeah.
Unique up on them.
Yeah.
So
I did learn. Okay, so I did learn a little bit something about horses.
did you?
Yes. So Selah, I have never seen her since we got her. I've never seen her lay down and sleep.
Right.
Well, Hope said that when they are in an unfamiliar place, they will sleep. It'll be a light sleep, but they'll sleep standing up.
Yeah.
And until they're comfortable, then they'll lay down and sleep because they're more vulnerable when they're laying down.
Yeah.
So she's not used
True.
to the place yet. So she's got to. I was like, that's really cool.
Nice.
Anyway.
Dolph Lundgren sleeps that way too.
With one eye open.
With one eye open. I'm told the guys in Metallica have something to say about that.
Oh, I don't.
It's in one of their big songs.
Okay.
Anyway.
I don't listen to Metallica. So
I
wouldn't
know. That's why I said this. I thought I could get away with it. So anyway.
I maybe Tim knows. I don't know.
Probably.
It's funny.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's time. It is time for some good news. But before we do us a favor. Do us a solid and go ahead and click the thumbs up button. Please, por favor. The reason why is that YouTube will see all those thumbs ups, and then it will send out many more notifications, which enables more people to see the show.
The thumbs ups.
Thumbs ups.
That's funny.
The up thumbs sounds weirder.
Yeah, it does.
You don't want an
Really?
up thumb.
No.
Trust me.
No.
Had that happen once. Oof. What's that even mean?
I have no idea, but
I just made it up.
alrighty then.
And then we're clear.
Okay. Okay. So this story is appropriate for today. Wreaths Across America has kept up an ongoing effort since 9/11 to raise American flags every single Tuesday in Freeport, Maine. The organization's executive director, Karen Worcester, joined Fox and Friends on Tuesday morning to reveal that the tradition has continued in terms of respecting the flag as a symbol of hope and unity. That symbol that has brought this country through so much helped us all through the days of 9/11 and the days following. What it symbolized is all the men and women that served. It symbolized all the first responders that ran into the burning buildings, and it symbolized all the men and women who would join the military and come together. The flag raising was first started by 3 women who stood on the side of the road and raised their American flags on September 11th, 2001. Wreaths Across America then took over the charge. Worcester said to carry on the message that we can always look to the flag to pull us together. The director also called on Americans to raise their own flags across the country and submit videos to Wreaths Across America via Facebook using the hashtag Flags Across America. Share stories about people who stepped up on 9/12 and days after. Worcester reiterated how the country is backsliding and distancing itself from the values of the American flag. We are entrusted with freedom, and we need to take care of it by teaching our children to love our country and rally around our flag.
Okay. Yeah. Now I gotta be honest, and I gotta say something. As much as we should care about our country, love our country, we should love God more.
Oh, yes.
You know.
Oh, yes.
And I am in no way knocking down what those folks are doing, and I am in no way saying that we shouldn't get back to the morals that were the founding. I'm not saying that at all, because I believe in those things.
Right.
But should be God first, and those are the values that I believe that we should be
right.
Striving for.
Yeah.
So in no way knocking the flag, in no way knocking what they're doing, but God first. So
yeah.
All right. This is a story about a cool kid, man. This is a cool kid. Here he is. I can show you right off the bat. Jacob how about I be able to say his name? That'd be a good start. Jacob McFarland loves making and bringing his parents coffee, earning him the household nickname Barista Jake, which spread to the rest of Norristown, Pennsylvania. And now the 21-year-old who has autism has his very own cafe. Making coffee for his dad is a passion. It makes me feel very, very, very happy. It really does. I'm telling you the truth. It totally does, Jacob told CBS News. He's telling the truth, his mom said, his mom, Angela. Jacob is his father's biggest fan, and my husband loves coffee. So everything my husband loves, Jacob loves. I didn't know, though, that Jacob was immersing himself in all types of research about the proper beans to use, the different coffee blends, the best water, the water temperature, the technology of the whole thing. I didn't know any of that. His parents own a record store in town, and they had to temporarily close it when the pandemic hit because it was not considered an essential business. Jacob, who was 19 at the time and had graduated high school, was still continuing education courses, but those halted too. He craves routine, and he didn't have routine anymore because of the pandemic. Angela said, so we decided to do a curbside coffee cart outside of our store. What that turned into was an overwhelming community appreciation of Jacob, she said. The cart eventually moved inside the record store, and the coffee closet with Barista Jake expanded. I got to make hot coffee. We watched videos and learned how to do iced coffee. Then we got our license to start serving food, so we do breakfast stuff, said Jacob. Not only was the coffee business successful, it helped change Jacob's life. It has just been a whirlwind ever since. The person Jacob is now, the fact that you asked a question and he jumped right in with the answer, well, that never would have happened 2 years ago, Angela said. Having a business also helped Jacob socially. While he had people that he was with in school, he's never been on a sleepover. He's never gone on vacation with a friend. He's never brought a friend on vacation. He didn't have some of those experiences, his mom said. And now, when I hear him having very organic, casual conversations with his coworkers, and they're high-fiving and saying, "Hey, good to see you, buddy," I can't tell you what it does to me, because I never thought that he would have that, and he's really making his way.
That's excellent.
To the McFarlands, the coffee closet isn't just a family business. It's a welcoming place for all, a legacy for Jacob. I think he feels like he has purpose, and he gets really excited to come to work, and he will see certain people, and he knows their car, and he'll start making their coffee before they've even walked in the door, Angela said. He's found the social side of himself, and if this were to all go away tomorrow, the advancement in Jacob in 2.5 years has been worth everything.
That's awesome. Wow.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool. All right.
Yeah, I think I know that with autistic kids, routine is super, super important.
A lot of them thrive on
yeah.
that.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my gosh. You guys should see this sunset. It is absolutely amazing.
Wow. It's
Sorry, squirrel.
peach and blues and
Orange,
purples.
and it's really pretty. Our kids like to have, I think kids in general really thrive on routine. You know, if kids don't know what's going to be happening next, you know, or what's going to be coming up in a day or so, you know, if it's just complete chaos all the time, they're not going to do well.
Wow.
So
Yeah.
I've always felt that way, you know, raising our kids and,
Yeah.
you know, having routine is super important.
Yeah.
Okay. So, excuse me. This is a really cool story.
Yeah.
Unable to get around without a walker, an English granny has gone on to shed 250 pounds and have 28 pounds of saggy skin removed and is now a professional bodybuilder.
Boom.
Oh,
Look at that.
my goodness. That's insane.
250 pounds ago.
Yeah.
Wow.
Years ago, Dee Hodgson's size used to leave her in constant agony, and doctors suspected she was suffering from fibromyalgia, a long-term condition that causes pain all over the body. A mom of 4 and a grandma of 8 says her weight spiraled out of control after years of emotional eating chocolates and sweets. Knowing her sugary diet wasn't helping with her condition, she embarked on an ancestral eating pattern of only foods in a natural state, like fresh vegetables, whole eggs, or meat. As is so often the case with morbidly obese, Dee lost 84 pounds without ever setting foot in a gym. The pounds kept falling, and after passing 100 pounds, Dee had joined a local fitness center and discovered a hidden passion for lifting weights. My life was very limited, and I was very dependent on people, which was hard as I am very independent. It was embarrassing for me, she said. My new diet was very basic, and it made it easier to stick to. I didn't have to think up because I limited my choices. The more choices you have, the more slip-ups you'll have. I've continued with the meal planning now and will freeze batches of food so that it's easy for me. People were noticing the difference, and I was feeling more mobile and healthier. And I realized that a different life really was achievable. Starting with the stationary bike, she moved to weights after realizing that despite what most beginners think, no one was judging her at all. She is now being coached by Lisa Morrison, a UKUP WUP pro athlete, and has set personal bests of 176 pounds on a deadlift and 101 pounds on a bench. My son Will, 33, told me that he feared he would soon have to tell his children that I had died. That's how bad my health had got, she recalled. I remember about a year into my journey, I was playing tag with my eldest granddaughter, and she turned around and said, "Nanny, I didn't know that you can run." And it's moments like that that make it all worthwhile.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're not going to offer her some Culvers there,
No,
Mike.
no,
way,
I think not. I think
No,
we'll pass on
but
that
she
one.
deserves it.
She does. She does.
Maybe just a little bite. Just one bite. One bite.
Nah, I'd just as soon make her, a steak and a plate of fresh veggies and
Fruit smoothie, but only smoothie.
Right.
Or only fruit.
right.
So, okay. This one caught me by surprise a little bit. I can actually put the picture up because you're not going to know who it is.
Nope.
Dave McConnell's office was no bigger than a kitchen pantry, but he was doing something strange in there. Passers-by knew it. They could smell it. Literally smell it. Night and day, Dave spent brewing weird concoctions from roots, herbs, and flowers. Down the hall, you could catch the aroma of roses and violets. Now, Dave was in business for himself, but it was the book business, of all things, which could have little to do with that brew, whatever it was. Then one day, they found out what Dave was up to. And you know too. Then Dave got to thinking, a book stays in your library forever, but perfume disappears and requires replenishing. And that's how Dave McConnell decided to go into the perfume business. One day, his former employer wrote him a letter. The gentleman had moved to California and was loving it. So in honor of the man whose guidance had been so valuable, Dave named his new business the California Perfume Company. But he couldn't make much money buying someone else's perfume and selling it door to door. If Dave really wanted to succeed, he'd have to make the perfume himself. And so began months of experiments in Dave's tiny office. He would use the natural essence of real flowers, and to the extent that he could, he imitated the processes of major French manufacturers of perfume. He began with 5 fragrances: white rose, violet, hyacinth, heliotrope, and lily of the valley. And they combined to comprise the sweet smell of success. But I have to back up for a bit and explain the rest of the story. Dave McConnell was a farm boy from New York State. And when he was still a young man, he left his father's farm, lured by dreams of big business and big money. And he became a book agent and sold books, door to door. He liked talking to people, and he won their confidence easily. And he got so good at his job that he was promoted to the general traveling agent. That extended his territory to virtually every state east of the Rockies. When he had earned enough money, he offered to purchase the entire business from his employer. The offer was accepted. Now Dave McConnell was, as they say, his own man. Over the years, he learned 100 ways to integrate himself with his customers. But the most effective of all was the freebie, the little no-charge gift which accompanied each sale. If the customer was a woman, for example, the gift was almost always perfume, just the little sampler bottles which he had picked up at a low cost. But then after a while, Dave realized the perfume was often more popular than the books he was selling. And that's when he decided to go into the business of manufacturing perfume himself. And today, Dave McConnell's 100-year-old perfume business employs 34,000 people in 50 nations.
Oh, my.
And you know how it all began. Although you know his company, by the new name it got as recently as 1950. And now you've learned one more thing today. You've learned that the original Avon lady was a man.
That's a man. Oh, my gosh. That's so funny.
Avon
Oh,
calling.
my goodness.
Ain't that something?
Yeah.
All right.
Rose. Spoiler alert, Avon.
Oh, you knew?
She knew.
Must be an Avon lady.
Or just knew about the history of it.
Googled it.
Nah, come on.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, it
Too
is
funny.
that time of the evening where we try to pay the internet bill.
Yeah, no kidding.
Commercial city, but it won't be long.
Nope. Nope. So, many of you know Thrive Life is something that we absolutely love. We love to sell it because it's single ingredients. It's really, really great. It's
Freeze-dried
freeze-dried
food.
food. I know. I realized that I had left that whole part out. Jeez.
It's okay.
Yeah.
Trust us, it's good.
It is really good. It's really good if you want to put some stuff on the shelf or even use it in daily use. Trust me, you're going to save money because of the prices of items right now.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Or if you can't get a certain item.
That's right.
Anyway, so we are going to have a deal this month for the month of September. If you become a new delivery customer, which it's free to sign up. So if you become a new delivery customer and you place your order this month, or you become a consultant this month, we will send you our newest cookbook.
Well, email.
Well, yes, not send. Well, that is sending, but it will be sent via email because it's PDF. So
freebies. And by the
yeah.
way, it costs you $0 to
Right.
become a delivery customer. So it's like getting the cookbook for free.
pretty much. Yeah.
The only thing we ask is that you at least go and stick around for a month.
Yeah.
Because then we get credit at Thrive Life.
Right, right. So
That's the
if you
sneaky part.
if you become a delivery customer and you place your order in September, or you become a consultant in the month of September 2022, then
Free cookbook for
free
you.
cookbook for you, and it'll be our newest one. And it's not, sorry,
Or if
Jeton,
you-
it's not all Thrive Life ingredients. So
Yeah, but if you have one of them and you request another one, that's fine.
right.
That's
Just
fine.
let us know. Send us an email after you've signed up and placed your order, and then we can email it to you.
So cost you $0 to sign up to be a delivery customer, and then you get a free cookbook out of the deal.
Right. Right.
So, and you're helping us out.
Right.
So there you go. Look, commercial break
Done.
over.
Yeah, Tammy, I'm thinking they're not ever going to freeze dry horse and cattle feed.
Hey.
No.
Hey. Hey.
I know.
H-A-Y.
Right.
Not
I know.
H-E-Y.
I know. I got that. That's funny. So,
So,
all
all
right.
right. You're up, baby.
Okay, this one kind of creeped me out a little bit.
This
I'll
one
be
is a little
honest with
creepy.
you.
See what you guys think.
Just because, I've had some stuff done with my veins in my leg. And so this one kind of creeps me out a little bit. So, pipes. Now, okay, you got to listen to this carefully because I had to reread this like 3 or 4 times. Pipes, 1,000,000 times thinner than a human hair. 1,000,000 times thinner than a human hair. Okay, guys? Could deliver personalized therapies to individual cells according to new research. The world's tiniest plumbing system could transform medicine by funneling drugs, proteins, or molecules to precisely targeted organs and tissues without any risk of side effects. It compromises. You did the same thing. It
I know.
comprises microscopic tubes that self-assemble and can connect themselves to different biostructures. Okay, this just.
Self-assembling tubes inside of it.
I don't know. I'm not leery. U.S. scientists from Johns Hopkins University in Maryland engineered a way that ensured the pipes are safe from infinitesimally, that's a 25-cent word, small leaks. It's safe from small leaks.
Yeah.
Yeah. This
Trust
study.
me, I've been doing this for a long time.
Yeah, right. This study suggests very strongly it's feasible to build nanotubes that don't leak using these easy techniques for self-assembly, where we mix molecules in a solution and just let them form the structure we want.
Ooh.
Okay. The
No.
team worked with tubes 2,000,000 times smaller than an ant and a few microns long, equivalent to a dust particle. They grew and repaired the tubes, enabling them to find and connect to specific cells. It is similar to an established technique that repurposes DNA as building blocks. Yeah, no. Sorry.
No.
Not happening. Now we can call this more of a plumbing system because we're directly directing the flow of certain materials or molecules across much longer distances using these channels. We are able to control when to stop this flow using other DNA structure that very specifically binds those channels to stop this transport, working as a valve or a plug. Researchers could also use the DNA nanotubes to study diseases like cancer and the functions of the body's more than 200 types of cells. Yeah, I'm going to say no.
Yeah, pass. That's a hard pass.
Yeah, that's a hard pass. No.
Yeah, what could possibly go wrong?
No.
So here's a question. So
Yeah,
if-
right, Meg. Who can control them?
that's exactly where I was going with that. I was like, okay, so somebody's in charge of these tubes. Mm-hmm. What if you don't think the right way? And policies change on what happens with your type of people. Never happened before. Never ever in history has, some maniacal dictator decided an entire people group needed to be exterminated. Never. Couldn't possibly happen. It's just a farce.
Can one say Borg?
Yeah,
Nice.
Borg. Nice.
Nice.
Well done.
Yeah.
Well done.
Yeah.
Okay, so now you're going to
Yeah.
keep it. I'm
Phoebe,
turning
what
this
could
picture off.
possibly go wrong? Put pipes in your veins, they said. It'll be fine, they said.
Yeah, no, thank you. So anyway,
I almost want to say something about something else, but I'm gonna
don't do
pass.
it. I know
I'm
where
gonna
you're going.
pass. You know where I'm going?
I'm picking up what you're throwing down.
All right.
But-
Just let's
But
just
tonight
say
is supposed to be good news.
yes. Let's just say there's something else that are being found in veins recently.
Yeah.
Just
Google it.
just search that one for you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Happy thoughts.
Do it on a private server. though.
Happy thoughts. All right.
Happy thoughts.
Here we go.
Happy thoughts with the Big Family Homestead.
Nice.
Yeah.
Americans deep in the Indian Ocean are twin specks in the vastness between Australia and Africa. The tiny Cocos Islands, the South Islands, only 10 miles across at its widest point. Oh, yeah. There they are. At its widest point. But it is inhabited. The Cocos are British property, so the population is mostly British. Your chances of going through life without ever hearing of the Cocos Islands would have been excellent, but something remarkable happened there in the summer of 1982. And because it did, I think you will never forget them. So, at the north end of the main island, there's a shallow lagoon protected from the sea by a reef. Ordinarily, it's a tame place to swim and play. And that's exactly what 11-year-old Nicholas Christides was doing with friends one afternoon until suddenly a storm came up and a giant wave swept into the little lagoon and water rushed over the reef, carrying with it young Nick. By the time help arrived, the boy was gone.
Oh no.
I mean, carried out into the swollen sea, and nearby U.S. Air Base was notified. And of course, the search was launched, and an hour passed, and then 2 hours, and then 3 hours, leaving Nick's stunned parents standing on the beach, their hopes of ever seeing their son again, all but utterly gone. Incredibly, Nick was still alive. The northerly current had pulled him far out into the treacherous waters, and the frightened youngster knew what was waiting for him out there. Towering 20-foot waves, man-eating sharks, barracuda. Oof. Surviving all of that would insist on a miracle. And a miracle came along. A friendly native. The natives are so powerful swimmers, you see, and wise in the ways of the ocean. So while Orion planes scoured the area to no avail, one of the natives set out to rescue young Nick, as nonchalantly as a lifeguard would plunge into a swimming pool. But then the sharks began to swarm. Nick screamed. The native, doing his best to comfort the boy, stayed calm. But although the native knew the ancient tricks for keeping the sharks at bay, there was no way he could do that and still bring the little boy to shore. So as Nick treaded water, the native swam at a circle around him, never more than a few feet away. And the sharks lurked and stalked, but none came close. Young Nick's terrifying ordeal lasted 4 seemingly endless hours and ended when a patrol plane finally spotted him and his native friend. So Nick was returned safe and sound to his parents' arms, and though he wanted very much to thank his rescuer, the two have not seen each other since. It's likely they'll never see each other again. You see, the swimmer, who swam in circles for hours, fending off remorseless man-eaters of the Indian Ocean, the friendly native to whose waters he rose out of the depths of compassion, dare we suppose a brother in distress? That native was not a man at all. It was a dolphin. It was a dolphin.
That's awesome.
I've heard of stories like that where dolphins will intervene and they will go after all manner of creature to save humans.
Right.
I saw a whale actually shield some swimmers from shark
goodness.
attacks.
That's crazy.
They were just trying to kind of keep them at bay.
Wow. That's really
How
great.
how in the world do they know that's how are they wired
I
like
don't know.
that? It's
I don't
called
know.
God.
Yeah, right. Right.
It's called God.
Yeah.
In case you were wondering.
Right. Okie dokie. The town of Dalton, Georgia was almost completely destroyed by Sherman's troops. Dalton had been a major marketplace for farmers, stockmen with grain, hogs, cattle, and copper ore moving in and out in wagon trains half a mile long. But now the town is devastated. What's left of industry is fragmented, leached out cotton land was yielding less. And the market for it had dried up. Dalton, Georgia might have drowned in its post-war grief, but might have withered and died, as many towns did in those dark days, except that the women of Dalton would not allow it. Dalton's population, 2,000 people plus, became the first county in any state to vote itself bone dry. Then a young woman named Catherine Evans began to weave what was left of local cotton in hand-tufted bedspreads. I said the young woman began to weave what was left of the local cotton in hand-tufted bedspreads, first for her family, then as a wedding gift, and in 1900 she sold one, a hand-tufted bedspread for $2.50. Was this a new way to make cotton pay? The wife of a local dentist began making bedspreads to help support her family, then the wife of a department store owner, then the wife of a grocer. Miss Evans would lend the other women patterns. Then they taught one another how to stamp and work the spreads and sell them. By 1917, the Evans Tufted Bedspreads had become a manufacturing company, and within 3 more years, there were 7 local companies selling bedspreads with such family names as Bates and Calloway. Well, today, it's a half a century later. Actually, it's a century and such later.
Story's a little
older. The manufacturer of bedspreads has been mechanized. In the process, Dalton, Georgia has learned to apply those machines to the manufacturing of carpet. What began as a cottage industry has become one of our nation's biggest industries, with 223 corporations and 321 manufacturing plants located in 22 states. But the epicenter of this $8 billion industry is Dalton, Georgia. Most of all the carpet and rugs manufactured in America and now for a worldwide market are manufactured in Dalton, Georgia. And the families represented by the several mills competing fiercely in business and ultimately friendly socially. They are ultimately friendly and friendly socially. Nobody in town is more popular than Bob Shaw of Shaw Industries, the largest tufted carpet manufacturer in the world, a $1 billion business with 160 acres of buildings and 10,000 employees, home based in Dalton, Georgia. Of course, this again was a while back, so I'm guessing it's a lot larger.
It's huge.
Yeah. The carpet capital of the world happened where it happened because, once upon a time, the women of a tiny war-torn town refused to let the town die. And they were mobilized to action. They were encouraged to turn what was left of their leached-out cotton fields into tufted bedspreads. And those bedspreads accomplished the renaissance of a city and began a worldwide industry. The young woman who first turned the cotton into yarn and the yarn into bedspreads and with fingers and needles and scissors established an industrial empire was Catherine Evans, a schoolgirl of 15.
Wow.
15 years old. Man.
Never let somebody tell you can't do a thing.
No, of course not.
You know?
Right. Goodness.
My gracious. Yeah, when I was traveling, we lived in Florida for a lot of the time.
Yep.
And when you live in Florida, it takes a long time to drive out of Florida. And when heading to Nashville all the time, Dalton, Georgia, right up there.
Yep.
It was Atlanta, then Dalton, and they had all those massive facilities.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Shaw flooring.
Shaw makes laminate flooring. Yep. I think we've actually had Shaw flooring in our houses
We
before,
actually have.
in one of our houses.
Motivated by a 15-year-old girl.
Yeah. Yeah.
She deserves Culver's, but it wasn't invented then.
Well, and I think she's passed on now.
Either that or she's really, really old. Good exercise plan.
Well preserved.
Pickled.
Pickled.
She's pickled. Yeah.
Oh, goodness gracious.
All right, one more. This one is pretty dang cool, too. Motivational, I would say. All right. So, Professor Dallas Bushey is a nationally renowned authority on human anatomy. You know the name. He's a professor's professor, a giant on whom his colleagues often depend to answer the toughest questions in the field. At his home base university, Vermont College of Medicine, he's been named Teacher of the Year. He's been recognized repeatedly for his ingenious inventions and instruction on his subject. His monumental career as an educator began a half-century ago when he became Dr. Stoltz's assistant. Dr. Walter Stoltz was a distinguished professor of anatomy at the University of Vermont. And one morning, it was 1940, this young man named Dallas Bushey, it's Boushey, Dallas Bushey arrived in Dr. Stoltz's laboratory. Dallas had been transferred from the Animal Research Lab. His work had been highly praised by Dr. Stoltz, said, well, let's see. But it was not long before the respected anatomist recognized the superior qualities in his new assistant, overcoming his initial apprehension about working with cadavers. Dallas began helping Dr. Stoltz with embalming. Before long, the young man had mastered all of the embalming procedures and had taken over the job completely. Astonished by the speed with which Dallas learned, Dr. Stoltz started teaching him the fundamentals of dissection. Dallas worked hard, studied voraciously, even in his spare time. Soon, these two men, Stoltz and Bushey, developed a skeletal recovery program for the medical school. And one day, Stoltz's star student became himself a teacher. For his own pupils, he invented revolutionary anatomical models, physical representations infinitely more streamlined and more comprehensible than others that were in use. Today, Professor Dallas Bushey possesses one of the most remarkable worldwide reputations in the field of human anatomy. And it all started that morning in 1940. 21-year-old Dallas became an assistant to Dr. Walter Stultz and began working in his anatomy lab. When he began work, he began by sweeping and mopping the floors, because that's what he'd been doing in the school's animal lab. You see, Dallas Bushey, who became so respected and beloved in the field of medical education, never aspired to become a doctor or a teacher, was not even a medical student when he became interested in anatomy. It was spontaneously that the man for whom he mopped floors, impressed with the young man's keen, innate intellect, gave Dallas increasing responsibility until the assistant became himself an instructor. And it was as recently as 1972 that the University of Vermont Board of Trustees designated instructor Dallas Bushey a full professor. A full professor of anatomy, despite his utter lack of any formal medical education. Despite the fact, in fact, that Dallas had attended school only through the 8th grade. As a matter of fact, when Dallas became Dr. Stultz's assistants long ago, Dallas did not even know what the word anatomy meant. For Dallas was employed by the University of Vermont for $15 a week as a janitor.
Oh my goodness. Didn't even finish high school or school.
He was a
went through
janitor.
The 8th grade.
He was a janitor.
Goodness.
And that doctor saw in him something cool.
Yeah. I can't imagine if he had actually went through high school and college, what he would have done.
I don't know.
Yeah. Well, he could still have done anatomy, but
Maybe life lessons taught him different things. See, that's the thing.
Yeah.
I gotta say, college is for some people. Oh, here he is. Sorry. Here's his picture. Oh, it's not gonna work. It's not triggered up. But for some people, a vocation is far, far better than college.
oh, sure. Definitely.
There's a lot of really, really great reasons that you might want to consider that. Less debt, if any.
Yep. Right.
Or go push a broom for somebody and say, "Hey, teach me your craft.
Right.
I'll work for free. I'll be a plumber.
Right.
I'll be an auto mechanic.
Right.
I'll clean the shop."
I know that there are so many.
He really cleaned up. Oh, Mike, the
Nice. Nice.
Well done.
I know that a lot of trades, they will train you so that you basically stay on there. I know that there's a place up here in Merrill that is hiring welders, and you don't even have to know how to weld. They'll train you.
Yeah.
And they pay a really amazing
Over
wage.
$25 an hour just to start if you know nothing.
Right, right. If you're a certified welder, it was what, 60?
60 something bucks an hour.
Yeah, yeah. And then they have also housing. So if you're single, you get less per hour, but you get housing, which
Yeah.
I think is fantastic.
Gotta tell you.
Anyway.
So here it is, ladies and gentlemen. We are almost to the end, but Mom, reiterate this the deal we're offering
Right.
for the
So-
freeze-dried food.
Right. So if you sign up to be a consultant or you sign up as a new monthly delivery, and you place your order in the month of September
Which
2022.
doesn't cost you anything.
Doesn't cost you anything to sign up no, it does cost to sign up to be a consultant, but monthly deliveries are free. And you can cancel anytime, you can skip a month, whatever. But doesn't cost you anything to sign up as a monthly delivery. But if you do that, we will send you our newest cookbook, or if you've already got it, we'll send you one of the other ones. Just send us an email saying, "Hey, I signed up. I placed my order this month. Would you please send me that email
And
or
we'll do it.
that cookbook?" So be happy to. So, yep.
So also one last thing, Monday through Friday, I do a little Bible devotion in the morning, 8:30 Central Time Zone, and it's on Big Family Devotions channel. So jump on over there and subscribe to that. and come visit, because we are in the book of Joshua.
Yep.
And it's getting real. It's getting real.
It's getting real.
Yeah, and there's no fighting, there's no arguing.
No.
We
You
read
don't
the scripture. People chat the whole
Mm-hmm.
time. They pray for each other,
Yep.
lift each other up. It's really, really, well, it's uplifting.
Right. Right.
So that said, let me see. We're gonna pray before we go, and wish you well.
Yeah.
So be warned, if you cannot take it, we'll see you back next week. But there you go. Here we go. Father God, thank you so very much for how you love us, and that you'll never leave us and you'll never forsake us. Lord, I just ask that you would give each and every one of these people here a big old hug and let them know that you really, truly, deeply love them. No matter what they think they've done, you're not going away. We love you, Jesus. Thank you. Amen. All righty, guys.
Y'all have a blessed evening.
Let's see, which one is it? I can't see it from here.
There.
That's it.
That's it.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and do not lean on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge him, and he will make straight your paths. Be not wise in your own eyes. Fear the Lord and turn away from evil. Does not wisdom come? Does not understanding raise her voice on the heights beside the way? Blessed is the one who finds wisdom, and the one who gets understanding. For the gain from her is better than the gain from silver, and her profit is better than gold. Be not wise in your own eyes. Fear the Lord and turn away from evil. Does not wisdom come? Does not understanding raise her voice on the heights beside the way? The fear of the Lord, the fear of the Lord, the fear of the Lord, fear of the Lord is the beginning of understanding. The fear of the Lord, fear of the Lord is the beginning of understanding. The fear of the Lord is understanding, understanding.